All right, new project for today. So I believe this is a Polaris Trail Boss 330. I don't know because it doesn't have any markings on the engine or anything, but I'm assuming it is because it's 4-stroke and it looks a little bigger than a 250. I don't have the plastic, so I'm not really sure what model it is. But basically, a friend from church dropped this thing off. He said he tried to get it running and just could not get it to stay running. So he ended up picking it up from a guy that was in a motorcycle accident, and then he let this thing sit. And that guy said that all it needed was a carb clean and the fuel lines cleaned and a battery charge. But the guy from church that knows me picked it up from the guy and did all those things, and he could not get it to run. So yesterday he dropped this thing off and said, you know, try to get it to run, do what you can. And he said, do whatever you can to get this thing to run. So that is what we're going to be doing today. Just by looking at it, it looks pretty clean. Feels like it's got decent compression. But it looks like it was taken care of. Has aftermarket pod lights on it. Those are kind of cool. LEDs. Said there's a new fuel pump on it. So I'm guessing he didn't think the fuel pump was working. And then he's got a new battery for it right here. But we are going to see if this thing fires up today. So I think what we're going to do is, I guess, start with all the basics and go from there. So let's just take off the seat. See what's in the air box. Vinny came to help. Vinny. And he wants to go back in his cage, I guess. He said this one's too tough for him. So he's out. Let's just open up the air box here and see what's going on. There's a bungee cord right here for some reason. I'm thinking the guy cleaned it out already. I'm assuming. Looks pretty clean. Oh yeah, brand new air filter in there. So he probably went through this whole system. But I guess we'll check for spark first. Let's just see if anything turns on. Nothing turns on. Electric start doesn't work. Nothing's working, so I guess let's begin by getting the new battery in there, and we'll see if electric start works, and then we'll go on and check for spark. Yeah, so that's looks like a toast battery right there. All right, let's try to get this old battery out of here. Oh, those are pretty on there. Finally broke her loose there. And this is also not a 4x4, unfortunately. It's just a two-wheel drive version. So that's why I'm thinking it's the Trail Boss 330. Battery coming out. See if the new one is approximately the same size. Yeah, looks like that's gonna work. It didn't come with bolts, so we're gonna have to reuse the old ones. A lot of times the batteries don't match up with the old ones, so like sometimes the positive's over here, and this wire is not long enough to go over there, so it's a big mess. So this one actually worked out, surprisingly. So we'll get these all bolted up and then we'll move on. All right, battery's good to go. Let's see if anything lights up here. All right, we've got power. Let's see if the lights work. Oh, those are bright. Oh, that's nice. All right, does the electric start work? Oh yeah, cool. All right, everything's working, so that saves us some time. Let's see. Let's get that spark plug out. We'll put a little oil down there, just because it's been sitting for a while, and then we'll check for spark. But it doesn't look like anything's flowing from the fuel tank. Is there any fuel in here? Guess there's no gas in there, so that would make sense. I like working on the Polaris machines. They're fairly easy to work on, which is kind of nice. Everything's kind of right out in the open once you take off the plastics. Oh man, that was on there. See what kind of plug we're working with. Yeah, it looks like it was running pretty decent. NGK BKR 6E. Yeah, it looks like it was running really good. Nice and brown at that tip. Let's see if we have spark. Get some oil down the cylinder first here. Just helps it out a little bit. Alright. Let's see if we have any spark here. Hopefully we do. Otherwise we have other issues here. Kill switch off, I believe. Where's the kill switch? There's no kill switch over here, I guess. Oh yeah, great spark. Oh yeah. Alright, so we've got spark. Let's see if we have compression. We'll get a compression tester in there and just see what we're working with here. Alright, we'll take the plug out. Just because we know what happened last time when I left the plug in. We don't want another fire in the shop. Alright, we'll get this compression tester in here. Alright, let's see what we get. I'm hoping we've got something at least, otherwise our valves could be out of adjustment. Alright, take a look at this. We're going to do throttle open. If the throttle works on this thing, let's see. Yep. Alright, here we go. Throttle open. Oh yeah. Awesome. So we're at 150, 60, 70, 80, 185 pounds of compression. So plenty of compression to start. It should be pulling in fuel, no problem. So we've got compression, we have spark. Next, we need to check out the carburetor. So I guess he did clean out the carburetor, but it still wasn't starting, so. All right, let's pour some fuel in here and see if she starts up. Maybe he rerouted the pump wrong, and that's why I wasn't getting fuel. We will see. I think he replaced the seal in the petcock as well. Thought that's what he said. See what happens when I crank it over, see if we need gas. Check this out. Nothing's being pumped through. So I think that's one of the problems. All right, let's see, we'll zoom out here a little bit. So maybe these are routed wrong. Let's see. So we're coming from here. Oh, I guess these aren't hooked up, darn. So that would be why. These two down here aren't even hooked up to the gas tank, they're capped off. So that's why you didn't have the gas tank filled up. Oh, bummer. All right, so I'm guessing yeah, we gotta hook those up. So I gotta get that gas back out of the gas tank in order to hook this up. So I'm gonna uncap the caps on the gas tank. And we'll try to get these bolted up correctly. All right, so I'm guessing the longer one goes to that one over there. Let's see. Yeah, that one's a little bit longer. I'm guessing that one goes to this one. And then the shorter line goes to the one that's closer. That would make the most sense. Oh, that one is flowing. That one is flowing strong. All right, let's see if we're getting anything to the pump now. We definitely have gas going to it. See if anything pumps through. Oh, she's filling up now. See the gas going in. Oh yeah, it's pumping. All right, we've got the gas line disconnected from the carburetor here. Let's see if I can fill up this cup here. All right, let's see if this pump's working. Yeah, it's pumping pretty good. So, we're getting gas to the carb. For sure. We'll get that reconnected to the carburetor. All right, we officially have gas going to the carburetor. We have power, we have spark, we have compression. So if everything works out, we should have it start up. Let's see. there's definitely a mouse nest in the clutch cover. There's a bunch of crap blowing out of there. But it did start. I think it's just not idling. So I'm guessing the carburetor needs to be tuned pretty good. But let's deal with that mouse nest first. It's really gross. It was like blowing right in my face. That was really exciting. You can see all the crap coming out of here. So let's deal with that first before I get a mouthful of mouse. So to get this cover off, he said he couldn't figure out how to get it off. You have to take this off. And this has 4 bolts right here. Those all come off. This will move this way, and then you can get the bolts off of that. But there's definitely a big mouse nest in here, which is going to be exciting. Let's see, I think these bolts are 7/16. Let's see here. Get these off of here. Just pop out like that. Looks like they're all the same size. Bolts here. And you can instantly see that this whole piece of side plastic moves now. So Polaris uses 3/8 for these. Use an extension. Get the rest of these off pretty easily. Some of them are a little bit tricky. Oh, he only had 1 to go. Maybe 2. Oh, I think he was good. Yeah, he only had 2 to go. Oh yeah. There's the mouse nest. I blew a lot of it out already. But you can see, we didn't want to chew up the belt even more. Belt looks good though, otherwise. So we'll get that vacuumed out. And that'll be good to go. You can see a lot of it's down there too. So it wasn't too bad. I thought it would be worse, but yeah, definitely some mouse nest left. All right, we got the clutch all cleaned out. So this cap comes off this cover right here. And when I was checking this thing out because it wouldn't idle, there's a little switch right in here. If you look, you can see these 2 pieces of metal. That's the switch right there. If that switch is closed and those 2 are touching, this will not start up by itself. You have to open the throttle more and then it will start up. And that's why when you tried to start this thing, you had to push the throttle open further and then it would idle. But now we moved this out and in turn it moves that further apart. And now, watch this, it at least idles on. But we have another problem. It's shooting gas out of the overflow or the air line right here. Check this out. So that's no good. We don't want gas coming out of the carburetor right there. You can see that's just a breather tube and it's coming out of there. So something's going on with the carburetor. Not quite sure what it is, but that needs to come out. So we'll get that torn apart and see if we can fix that, but at least we got it to idle. It sounds pretty good. I do smell like dead mouse though, so I'm wondering if there's still mice living in this thing right here. This little tube. Because I smell like that pee smell. Like a sour mouse smell. I'm sure Vinny smells it too. Vinny, you wanna come investigate, bud? You're good at finding mice. It's like, I don't wanna work on that Polaris. I don't like Polaris. All right, so let's get that carb off next. All right, let's get this air box out of here. That can come off. There, that's off. So it looks like we do need to take off the gas tank again in order to take the carb out. So again, we have to drain the gas out. All right, we finally got the carburetor out. That was not easy. It's a tricky carb to get out. But we gotta get the throttle disconnected here. Vinny's checking out the air box. Look at him. He's mouse hunting. He's on the hunt. He finally decided to come and check it out. Oh, and back he goes. Look at him. Strangest dog ever. Alright, we gotta get the throttle out of here. I hate working on this carburetor. Alright, so I had to take apart the carburetor right here because I can't get the choke out. I don't want to snap it off, so we're just gonna check it out right here. Ooh, it's pretty dirty in there. Doesn't look like it's been cleaned in a while. Float is stuck open. You can see. Needle is stuck in there, so it's not even pushing down. Look at that. So that's why it was shooting out gas. Wow. Yeah, I don't think he cleaned the carb. That's pretty rough in there. So that's why it was leaking gas. That's probably why it's not idling either as good as it should. So yeah, you can see this is just stuck. Look at the needle in there. It won't go down. So it's not shutting off any gas. So yeah, that's the problem. And then look at all the crud in the bottom of that. So that definitely needs to be cleaned out. Good thing I checked the carb. I thought I was gonna be stumped on this one because it was like, well, if he cleaned it, it should be good, you know? But yeah, maybe he let gas sit in it for a while and it got bad again. Main jet is running a, what is that main jet? Looks like a 115. Oh, 145. So main jet's a 145. Pilot. Yeah. Pilot's probably clogged as well. Yeah, she's a little clogged. Pilot looks like a 50. 50 for the pilot, that's clogged as well. And then let's get the float out of here if we can. Ooh, it's pretty rusted in. Oh man, that's gonna be tough to get out. Yikes. All right, so I'm sure a lot of you guys have ran into the same issue where this float pin does not come out. Things like stuck in there really bad. I pounded on the pin right there trying to get it out and it will not budge at all. Tried soaking it, won't budge. So what I did was just flip up that stopper right there and I was able to get the needle out and I can clean around it. But yeah, I didn't want to break off the little thing right here that holds it in place, so I've done that before. So I didn't want to do that. And I think we can get to those screws down there too and replace that O-ring seal in there if I can get that out. I'm not sure if it'll be able to fit out through there, but we'll try. But here's the needle. You can see it was all gunked up. That's why it was all sticky. So we're gonna take a little piece of sandpaper and just get all that grime off of there. You can just kind of and then we'll clean it off with some WD-40. You don't want to use brake cleaner or carb cleaner because it will harden up that rubber tip. But yeah, we'll just clean this up a bit and hopefully we can get it to move to where it shuts off the gas, because right now it's not moving too good in there. Alright, we got the needle seat out here. You can see those are the O-rings that go bad. So that goes right into there where the floats go. And that and gas can get around that O-ring right there and keep on flowing. And then the gas will never shut off. So you can see that O-ring is pretty much shot. I'll zoom in. So that O-ring is definitely shot. We're gonna replace that, clean out the seat area where the needle goes in there with a little bit of sandpaper, 800 grit, and we'll reinstall that. Put a little WD-40 down there. Help clean that out. Oh yeah, it's looking good. Now you can see in there, it's all clean. And the test is to put the needle in there, see if it can drop out. Oh yeah. So that slides nice and easily in there. So that's good. So we've got our little pick here. Yeah, you can see it's all hardened up. Oh yeah, that's really bad. Look at that. See what's cracking? Alright, let's get a new one on there. Alright, looking through our assortment here. This one looks pretty similar in size. So we'll try that one on first. That looks good. And I just put a dab of oil around that as well, just so that it's lubed up here. Just a little dab of oil. We'll get that back in the carb. Alright, let's check out this diaphragm here. See what's going on with this. I'm not sure if the guy checked this or not. But it's always good to check, double check, just in case. Ooh, it looks like it's stuck to the top of here. Don't want to rip it out. You can see it's stuck. I'm not seeing any holes in it. That's good. I'm just gonna quickly peel that off. Thin screwdriver. Kind of peel that. There's the spring. There we go. There's the spring. The needle's in there still. It's looking good. The diaphragm looks pretty decent. Not too bad. Alright, so I went ahead and put a little bit of grease on this thing, just so it doesn't get stuck in the future for the guy. Everything in there looks good. So let's just put this back in. Alright, we got the carburetor back on. So far it doesn't appear to be leaking. We will see when we do the first start. But I was just checking the oil and it seems a little bit low. So let's quick check and make sure there's some in there. You can see there's not much on the dipstick, so I guess he changed out the filter, but you can't remember if he changed the oil. So before we go any further, let's make sure there's some oil in there. And there's no oil in it. Alright, so it looks like this thing takes 1.7 quarts with just the oil change, and then 1.9 quarts with the filter change. So we're going to do 1.9 quarts going in. We're going to check the level after each quart using 10W40 wet clutch oil. Alright, adding the second quart here. Alright, we added exactly 1.7. So let's just see where we're at. In the manual it says to screw the dipstick all the way in to check for oil. That's what we're going to do. All the way in. All the way out, see where we're at. And you can see we're all the way at the top. So we are good. Oil change is done. Alright, we got the carburetor back out here. So to test the float height, what you want to do, zoom in here so you guys can see. We're going to put this on a flat surface, and we're going to measure the distance from the flat surface here, where the float bolt connects to, and the flat surface right here on the float. See how the float moves? So you want it just resting on the needle like that. And you want this distance to be 13 to 14 millimeters. If it's too small, you can adjust the tab right there. And you want to adjust the tab down to make the distance further. So right now, it looks like we're like pretty close. 11.77, so a couple millimeters off. So we're gonna push that tab down a little bit. All right, you can see we bent that tab quite a ways in. And now we are exactly at 13 here. 13.04. So we're right within spec there. So float height is adjusted. I noticed that there are some particles in the gas still, so I think the gas lines were a little dirty as well. So I'm gonna take out everything and clean it out again. After further inspection, check out this needle. The tip is like off of it. So we're gonna replace it with this one. I think that's why we had to mess with the float height so much. It wasn't shutting off the gas. So that's how it's supposed to look. And that's the one that was in it. All right, we got the new needle in there. I reset the float height to 13.34. So it's right in the middle. And that needle did help the float height go up. So I was able to lift that tab up pretty much even. So it definitely was the needle causing the problem. And it doesn't look like we've got any gas leaking. But that's awesome. If you look down there, nothing leaking. But let's see if she starts up and idles nice now. A little bit higher idle maybe. Sounding pretty good. Not bad. I think we're good. No leaking, no ticking. Sounds good. Comes right back down to idle. Awesome. All right, just check the oil again. We are good to go on the oil. So let's see if she moves. Hopefully she does. Oh yeah, she's running great. Everything works. No leaking. So this thing is running really good. As you guys can hear, it sounds amazing. Not a single drop out of the overflow. So we fixed that with that needle. Then the oil is nice and clear. It looks good. So that's all good to go. Yeah, everything is pretty much perfect on this thing now. So let's take her for a little ride. See how she goes. Starts right up instantly. See if my override button works. Yep. Remember, we don't have four-wheel drive, so we're just basically spinning in the back. One nice thing about these is that they're really light, so they do kind of hover over the snow a little bit. So they're kind of hard to get stuck, but in really deep snow, they're gonna get stuck with this pretty easily. Thing's pretty fun though. I won't jump his machine. I don't want to break it. If it was my own, I'd be taking it over the jump, for sure. Goes pretty good. Woo-hoo-hoo. That is cold. Thing is really smooth. Let's see if I don't know if this thing has low or not. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, that works. think idle can be turned down a little bit. There we go. There's neutral. There's neutral. There's low. Yeah, it's definitely working. There's neutral. Reverse. Override. That's working. Cool. There's high. Neutral. Park and brake. That's working. Cool. Everything's working as it should. Pretty sweet. Sweet machine. Nice. No leaking still. Just making sure. See if she starts right back up. Yeah, I'd say we're good. Alright, we got the ATV running and driving good. No more issues, idles perfectly, runs perfectly, has good power, super quiet, has great compression, we tested that, so we know that's good. Doesn't leak anything, no leaking at all. So this one is good to go. Only had a couple problems with it. I think for one, he must have been connecting the gas wrong, the gas lines. That's probably why he wasn't getting gas to the carburetor. And then the carburetor was overflowing because of the needle. And I think because of the float height. So we changed all that and we got her to go. And of course the mouse nest in the clutch area. So this one's all set. Oh, and then the battery too, we got in there. So I think he has the plastics at home he's going to put on and make this thing complete. But otherwise he shouldn't have much to do. So hopefully he likes it and it lasts him a long time. But anyway guys, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, stay tuned for the next video, and until next time, we are out.